Hello, this is Ashee from Crafting with Ashee and welcome to this video. Thank you for joining me today. This is the card I have to share with you. It's a Christmas tree shaker card, as you can see. And this is actually a card we made in my online card club that I host in my Facebook group. And you can find all the details if you'd like to join us on my website. And we have lots of fun together once a month. And this is the card we made last month. So let me show you how I made it. So firstly, I have a piece here of Designer Series paper, and this is a walk in the forest, and I've cut out the Christmas tree shape here, you can see, using the Merriest Trees dies, and I just hold it in place with some post-it note tape, and I keep using this post-it note tape until there's nothing left to use. And I'll show you the dies here. These are the Merriest Tree dies, and you get the tree dies in lots of different sizes, so you can build up your tree if you want one tree with lots of dimension, or you can cut out many trees. It's really up to you. It's a great die set, and it's one I've used a number of times already in projects. So there we have our base. Now I'm going to turn it over to the back, and we're going to stick down some acetate. And I've got a piece here of window sheet acetate, and I just want to make sure that it's going to be fit, so I need to cut this down. So get my scissors, and you can see I'm going to need to cut to about there, and then we are going to need to cut off a little bit as well off the sides, like that. Okay, now we can check, does it fit? Yay, it fits. So I'm going to put down some glue now, and I'm actually going to use just some seal. I find it works better to use something like this than a wet glue. If I put the wet glue, I find splodges out on the acetate and it doesn't look nice. So I'll just put a bit of this down. This is just the Stampin' Seal. Just get it in all the places so we have a good coverage, and then stick that down. That seems fine to me. Okay, now we need to build our shaker, so we need to put some foam tape around here. So I'm just going to get some foam strips here. Take one off, and if you take the backing off before you put it down, you'll find it's much easier to manipulate around your shape. I'm not trying to get in all the nooks and crevices. I'm just going very roughly around. Okay, need another one. Just butt it up well to each other, because you don't want your shaker bits to fall out. As I said, I'm not really trying to get into all nooks and crannies. I'm just using up the ends of my strips because I know we're going to need them anyway. Okay, so there we have our shaker built. Now I am going to look for my powder tool, and I'm just going to use this one for today, and I'm just going to run it around the edge of my whatever you call the stuff, foam tape. That's the end of it, greasing my works, and just so hopefully the shaker elements won't stick, not on top, just around the side of it like that. Okay. And now I'm going to put some more foam tape around here, and I'm just going to use some I have in my stash. You can also use dimensionals. Dimensionals are perfect for this, but I want to use up this. I found it in my stash and it's going yellow, so it needs to get used up. So we're going to use it up. Hopefully it should work. I don't have a clue when I bought it. Must be years and years ago. I was clearing out the drawer, the adhesive drawer, and it was stuck at the back, so we need to use it up. So the other thing that would be good to use here would be some of your adhesive foam sheet. That will work really well as well. Save you having to cut up lots of bits like I'm having to do here. Okay, a few more little bits and we'll be done. That's just gone flying across my desk. Okay, I just want a tiny bit there. I don't know why it keeps flying. I think it thinks it's, I don't know what it thinks it is. Yeah, it went flying again. Oh well. Come back. Okay, enough is as good as a feast. We are done with that. Or at least I am done with faffing with it. So I'm going to take off all my backings now. Gazillion of them, as you can tell. I have no idea where I got this tape. I don't even know. No, I have no idea where I got it. More than likely online or at a craft fair. Something like that. You know how it is at a craft fair. You see people using stuff and you think, ooh, that looks good. Let me do that. And then you bring something home and it just gets put in the drawer and it never sees the light of day again. Or maybe that's just me. Let me know if I'm the only one who does that. Finds stuff, buys things at the craft fair, and then they never see the light of day again. Okay, so there we have that. Now we need to fill our shaker, and I'm going to use again some shaker elements from my stash. And it's these gold and silver sequins, and again, these have been in my stash a while. I know I used them last Christmas, so I don't know how long they've been sitting in my stash. And I'm going to fill this up nicely. Just trying to make sure I keep the sequins in the area of the... And then I'm going to take a piece of designer series paper, and this measures just a little bit less than our backing. So about 1/2 centimetre less. And I'm just going to put this on the back. I'm going to give everything a really good press down all the way around that tree, and then you can see the front. So we're ready to put this on our card base. Our card base is thick basic white, the standard A6 card base. That's an A4 sheet cut in half and then folded in half. I'm going to stick this down with a goodly amount of Tombow. We don't want this going anywhere. And just give us a good press. Hold that in place. Now I'm going to put that aside so we can take And I'm actually going to stick one of my acrylic blocks on top of that. I'll stick that on top as well. Just make sure everything sticks. Let's do some stamping. Now the stamps that we're going to be using is one I've used a number of times. It's Merry and Bright. This one here, and we're going to use Have a Merry Christmas. And I've got here a piece of basic white cardstock and just a scrap, and we're going to stamp in real red ink. So let's ink this up nicely. This is one of my favourite stamp sets because it's so easy to cut out these sentiments. There we go. Lovely. Move that aside. Bring in my scissors. And we're just going to cut these out quickly, and this is so easy. But you're just basically following the lines of the stamping, and so even the most ardent hater of fussy cutting can do this. And I tell you, I am not a good fussy cutter. I don't have the patience. Some people find it therapeutic sitting there fussy cutting. I'm not quite sure. For me, it's definitely not therapeutic. Sitting there trying to go around these tiny little ins and outs of an image is not therapeutic to me. If anything, it's a total opposite. Let me know, do you like to fussy cut? Or do you just like to have something to cut it out, a die cut or electronic die cutting machine or something? But are you a fan of fussy cutting? Or are you in the firmly I hate it, can't stand it category? I know it's a good skill to have, but really not my favourite thing to do at all. But this I'll take. Okay, so there we have our little sentiment cut out. So let's bring back our card base. It should all be stuck down now. Yeah, seems to be. It's a lot of dimension on this card already, so I'm not gonna add to it by popping up my sentiments, I don't think. But I'm always wary of things having to go through the post. If you're handing it to someone, then by all means you could pop this up as well, but I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't have someone in mind when I made the card, so I'm going to keep it flat and make sure that hopefully it will go through standard post. This postage has gone up again in the UK, and really upsets me. I know that they have to pay for whatever, I understand that, but people just don't want to use the service, and if postage goes up, and I sort of feel they're shooting themselves in the foot. And it's really awful. People then just don't want to send cards, don't want to send anything, and that's an awful state of mind to be in. Okay, so there we have that. So let's embellish. And the same as die cut set, as I cut out this, cut out my tree, I cut out this little star from gold foil, and having said that about embellishing, I'm going to stick this up on dimensional because I think it really needs it. There we go. And now we're going to do a little embellishing. So I'm going to take my pick tool to help me out here, which is here. And I'm going to use a few sequins initially. Now you could use the pastel adhesive sequins as well here, because they have gold in them and they will be perfect for this, but I've left them downstairs. But I don't film in my craft area, I film upstairs where the light is better and quite frankly where I have more room. My craft room is very small and there just isn't the room there to film. So we'll take what we have where we are. I'm going to just put a few of these down. Now, you can see how the take your pick tool really helps to hold things in place, pick things up more easily. And one more. Sticking to me. Okay, so that's, and I use these little triangle jewellery trays I got online. They make funneling things back in so much easier. Now these are the holly loose gems and sequins. I'm going to put a few of these into here. Obviously not. I'm going to make a mess as well. And I want to put down a few gems as well, just for that pop of red. Okay. Now you could use, so if you've got some red rhinestones, you could use those, but these are really lovely. They're a really nice size as well. I think they just give something that the card needs. Okay, and you could add little music notes, you could add some holly leaves if you want, but I'm going to leave it at that. Enough is as good as a feast, as I say. Okay, so there are your two cards. Shake, shake, shake. Like I've called them before, my shaky cards. I really like them. I hope you do too. If you enjoyed this project, I'd be grateful if you could give it a thumbs up so YouTube know. And please don't forget to subscribe to future videos. If you want more information about the project, the supply list, the measurements, etc., it's all on the blog post on my website. And the links to that and all my social media links are in the description box below. So thank you again, and until next time, enjoy being creative. Bye.